HB, welcome to Advanced Program.
Thank you very much for your invitation. I'm very glad to have this chance to talk with you on this program.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you on the program for two reasons. Well, first of all, you are a long-time Studio Classroom listeners.
Yes.
Yeah, how long have you been listening to Studio Classroom programs?
It's been really a long time. I came to Taiwan a long time ago, back in 1995. So since then, I started subscribing Studio Classroom and also learning English.
And in 1995, you started listening to Studio Classroom. Do you still listen to us or any of our programs these days?
Definitely. Advanced English, that's what I subscribe and also listen to English through that magazine.
That's wonderful. I love Advanced. I often appear on Advanced as a host, and I'm so honored to be able to interview today. And the second reason we're very happy to have you join our program today is Line has been our longtime partner in teaching English here on the island. And you've been with Line since the very beginning, since the early days when Line went overseas and Taiwan was one of the first markets Line went into. And Line is wildly successful here. I cannot imagine a life without Line. Like, so much of our work and personal lives are in our Line messages. If I were going to lose my phone, I would be very sad because of all those Line messages and photos and videos that we have on our phone. So, HB, can you take us back to, is it 2012 when Line first came into Taiwan?
Right.
So you were here in the original pioneer team. You're part of Line's pioneer team here in Taiwan.
Right. 2012, it's really a long time ago.
Yes.
I have to spend some time to repeat that memory back in 2012. I think like Taiwan, we really made a success story in Taiwan market. And I think that is because we have Line users in Taiwan. And one of the success why we could make it is because we have Line Friends stickers. And a lot of users in Taiwan, they were really fascinated with that sticker usage. So they wanted to express something differently. And they wanted to express their feelings and also emotions through these stickers. So I think that was the most important aspect they wanted to download and also use Line with friends.
It was really revolutionary at the time because we can use stickers to express our emotions. Instead of having to reply with a message, we can just use a sticker.
Right.
So that was one of the reasons I loved using Line back in those days.
Right.
Of course, now Line has evolved into so much more than just messaging. But the stickers were fantastic. Do you have a set of favorite stickers? Or maybe you cannot say on there.
Well, I can say something about the stickers. I really love use stickers such as the Line brown sticker.
Yes.
It has very, very interesting emotions and also expressions within the stickers. So I really love sending out the Line brown stickers. And also BTS stickers.
BTS?
Right. I understand that most of the young generation, they use BTS stickers. And I also want to follow their feeling and also their user behavior. So I also use BTS stickers a lot.
Okay, that's
and
great.
And the third one is, there is a famous actor in Korea whose name is Hyun, which is exactly the same given name that I have. So I also sometimes use the stickers on purpose with my colleagues, and I'm saying that this is the Hyun sticker. Then they're really fascinated with that.
So once they see the Hongbin sticker, they know who the message is from.
Right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. My next question is, you've worked in business development for many years, and you've worked in actually many countries to develop different markets for Line. Now, you've worked here in Asia, you've worked in the Middle East, you've worked in Europe, you've been to so many different countries. Right. And a lot of times we have different stereotypes about countries. We think, oh, people from the Middle East, they're all wearing flowing robes and they're all driving top cars like Ferrari. Are there any stereotypes that you had before you went to a country, but after you started working with line teams in the country, you realized that the stereotypes were simply not true?
Very interesting topic, stereotype. I think everybody has kind of a typical stereotype toward a certain nationality.
Yes.
For example, I do have many different types of story about that, but let me just give you an example about the French people. As far as I understand, in some cases, people may think the French people, they are somewhat rude. They don't speak English.
Yes.
And also, they do not explain too nicely some foreigners. But the truth is that I realized that French people are very nice and also they are very kind and also they want to tell something about the friends or about the environment and also the situation they encounter. So I believe that they are very nice and kind people, and also kind of a typical stereotype is something we have to change toward that concept. We have to treat people as an individual, then we can understand people more thoroughly and also more emotionally, I think.
So we have to treat every person as an individual and not put them in a box because of where they're from.
Right.
That's actually a very interesting point, because I also subscribe to the stereotype French are rude. Because I visited France for 4 days, just 4 days, and the service at the restaurants were very rude. And right before we went to Paris, we were in London. And in London, the service, British service is very, very, it's not rude. British service is very polite, very civil. But once we got to France, man, the service was very rude. So I had a pretty negative impression of French people. But maybe that's not a fair assessment, because we were only in Paris for 4 days.
Right. I think we need more rich experience with any specific item, culture item. So long time ago, I had a chance to work in Europe for a certain period, and within that project there were lots of people from different countries, and then I had a chance to listen to what they say about the kind of a typical stereotype, and also they were talking about the French people's stereotype. But I've come to know one person in Korea. He's a young person from France, and he was staying in Korea for more than a year. And his major is engineering in France, but he was kind of internship work experience in Korea in an engineering company, and also learning Korean culture and so on. And he was very kind, and also he had a very how to say, in-depth understanding about the Korean culture and also the Asian culture. So I've come to know that, this person from France, but he has very open mind toward the different cultures, and also he was trying to understand different cultures and also history, and also many different types of people. So my stereotype toward the French people, which is kind of a French people normally are rude, not correct.
That's
not right.
Correct. Yes, that's a really good point. We have to treat people as individuals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are there any stereotypes about Korea that we should clear up? Just since, like a lot of us, we watch K-drama on Netflix or other platforms, maybe online TV as well. We watch many different K-drama, and we have some stereotypes about Koreans, like all Koreans get plastic surgery, all Korean girls look a certain way, or all Koreans, are there some stereotypes we should maybe
interesting again. Stereotype toward the Korean people. I would say I have been asked about this plastic surgery and also a Korean man, like a rude attitude toward the female. For example, especially at home.
Yes.
But I want to say that is also kind of a stereotype, typical stereotype. Yes, it is true that some people in Korea, especially women, they have surgery, plastic surgery, but that's not the very widespread common phenomenon in Korea. But some people do that, and also the man at home, very rude and also very conservative. Long time ago, let's say that 1970s and 80s, probably partially true. But as time goes by, Korean people are getting more nicer, and also they also started accepting different cultures from different countries. So they've come to know that we have to change. And also women, they are just trying to have more job opportunity in a Korean society. Therefore, we have to share the burden together at home. So therefore, Korean male, they more and more get to know about what they should do at home. So and also they are trying to be more kind at home. So I think it is somewhat changing dramatically, and therefore the kind of a typical Korean man stereotype is not true anymore.
That's good
and
to
also
know.
plastic surgery, partially yes, it's a kind of a good attractive city to think about the plastic surgery, come and do have that kind of surgery, plastic surgery, but not that significant way. Probably
so
partially.
it's not
yes.
everybody. Not everybody is doing plastic surgery.
Right.
Yeah. Well, personally, I'm on the fence on plastic surgery. I think if plastic surgery makes you feel more confident, then go for it. Yeah, it's just another way. Back to the concept of culture. We talk about working with people from many different nationalities and countries. In terms of culture, working with different teams in different countries, you've had to work with people of many cultures. Do you have any funny stories or memorable experience because of cultural differences? Maybe these are differences you didn't know before this incident happened. Do you have any story you can share with us?
I would like to share two different stories about the different cultural background. One is about the cuisine. I had a chance to travel to different cities like Bangkok in Thailand and also Jakarta in Indonesia, Taipei in Taiwan, of course, and also Tokyo, Japan. And especially when I visited the Jakarta in Indonesia, not all of them, but some people working in there, they do not eat pork.
Yes.
And also, some people in Bangkok, they do not eat beef. And also somewhat mixture in Singapore and also Hong Kong. In Korea, typically, I do not ask anything about do you eat pork, do you eat beef, something like that. Same in Taipei in general and also in Tokyo. But if you visit Jakarta or Bangkok and then you want to have kind of a small gathering for dinner, then the best way is that you first need to check with people who are going to join the dinner, whether they have any preference or they avoid eating beef or pork. So that is kind of one key important cultural understanding about the cuisine in Indonesia and in Thailand, which is not common in Korea or Japan.
That's a good tip for
Right.
any of our listeners who might be going to Indonesia or Thailand and have to work with people that those cultures
Right.
in the future. The
Right.
cuisine, yeah. Do you have a favorite cuisine out of all the ones we just mentioned?
Well, to me, I'm so lucky to work for Line here because I love to eat local food. Like in Taiwan, like a niuromian, beef noodle.
Beef noodles.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And also in Thailand, tom yum goong and also the local food, I love it. And also in Japan, like sushi and sashimi is something nice. And also like Japanese noodle, ramen, my favorite. So I really enjoy eating local foods.
You have an
Just-
international stomach.
Right,
You
right,
can
exactly.
eat anywhere.
Right.
You can eat anywhere. Very good. I have another question regarding working in a multinational company like Line. Do you have any piece of advice for young people who hope to get into a company like Line? They want to work internationally. They want to be sent abroad. Like, what are some skills you think that they need to have in order to be successful in a multinational company and be sent abroad?
In order to say something about that question, I want to share one famous sentence from the Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Long time ago, I've come to know one friend from Canada. He is a Chinese Canadian. He grew up in Canada. He immigrated to Canada when he was 5 years old, and also he came to Taiwan to learn Chinese, Mandarin Chinese. And then when he was young in Canada, everything was new to him, and also he wanted to overcome kind of a cultural gap and also like a language gap. And when he was young, he really liked to watch the movie Star Trek. And one of the sentences he was very touched was to boldly go or where you've never gone before.
To boldly go where you've never gone before.
Right. And that sentence he mentioned was also very impressive to me. So since then, I thought that that is something that I can consider in my life whenever I try something new. So I also would like to emphasize that phrase to all the studio classroom listeners. Probably people are not comfortable with something new and also probably some challenges. But I really want to encourage them to try something new, even though it is very new to them and also it is somewhat stressful to them. But by taking over that challenges and also difficulty, he or she can grow and also improve his or her capability as well.
Do you have one example from your life where you decided to get out of your comfort zone and to boldly go where you did not think you would be going?
I think a couple of things in my life. The first one is to come to Taiwan is actually one of the big challenges to me. When I first came to Taiwan, one of my friends asked me whether I had any the Chinese background in Korea or not, and also whether I did have any relatives in Taiwan, but actually not at all. So that was a kind of a big challenge to me. But now I think that was the best choice I have ever made.
Really? The best choice?
Right. So since then I've come to know more about Taiwan, mainland China and Hong Kong, the different culture. And also I've got to more chances to work for the multinational companies and also working with all different types of people with a different background. Like working for the multinational company, then I had a kind of a very mingled culture with Japanese or the Taiwanese, Hong Kong people and people from Shanghai and Beijing, and also Thailand and Singapore and Malaysia. So that really gave me lots of opportunity to learn something from them and also through the project about the subject matter expertise and also different cultural background and also communication skills and also language capability and so on.
And another related question is how has you being trilingual helped you in this career at the multinational? Like how because like you worked very hard to learn English, like we mentioned at the beginning with learning English, and also Chinese. You worked very hard on mastering Chinese. How has being able to speak 3 languages help you in this career?
Well, since it is more like a globalization at this moment, many companies are coming back and forth. Korean companies, they are expanding their business in other countries. Taiwanese companies, same way, and also the companies from Japan or USA or Europe, they want to explore the overseas business opportunity, and globalization is kind of a worldwide trend. So I believe that a lot of companies they are looking for a human capital, talented people who own this capability. But the capability indicates 2 different things. One is the communication and language skill. The other part is about the expertise. So like engineering skills or the business management skill or maybe analytics or data management, something like that. So if you do have language skill, that will give you a tremendous opportunity for you to grab an opportunity in a multinational companies or maybe any companies which are looking for the overseas business expansion. And at the same time, expertise in a specific field such as technology or the art or data science or something like that, that will also give you a tremendous opportunity to explore a overseas job as a minor opportunity.
So you need both. You need it's like two wings. You need the language and communication skills, but at the same time, you need to be a subject matter expert in your chosen field, whether it's marketing or digital or whatever area you choose to go into. You need both.
Right. I think the best way is that you develop skills with this first option and also the second option together simultaneously, so that you have more capability to accept any kinds of offer from the multinational companies or any local companies. Right. And then like language sets, as you mentioned, like different languages such as Korean, Chinese, and English, that gave me a broader opportunity to select which company I would work for. And at the same time, depending on the market demand, the company will give me a more diversified opportunities to work in Taiwan or maybe in Shanghai or maybe in Singapore, Hong Kong, for example.
Right. How are you preparing your own children for to be multinational talent down the road? I know they're still not at an age where they're able to work yet, right? About what age are your children, and how are you preparing them to be international talent?
It is a very, very hard and tough question, I think.
Yes.
As a parent, all parents, I believe, that want their kids to grow with language skills and also expertise and also good personality and so on. But at the same time, it is not easy to make a very fixed future career path made by parents. Yes. Each kid has to make a decision by himself or herself, right? And also it is very important for a parent to understand which is more appropriate for this kid. So I also really had a hard time to understand this part and also let my kid to make a choice by herself and also by himself, one daughter and one son to me. So and then basically I wanted to let them know that language skills and also the specialties with a specific subject matter really important for them for their future. Whatever career path they want to choose in the future after 20 years old. So as time goes by, as they grow up, they started understanding my comments, and also they gradually accepted my feedback and also advice. So they're learning English very hard, and also they're learning Chinese very hard.
Wow.
And also they're trying to find out which area they are interested in, such as investment or the IT technology, or maybe art, or maybe business management, something like that. Even though they are young, but they just try to explore some interesting topics and also clarify whether he or she is catching up something with that topic.
That's actually a wonderful tip we can give all parents who are listening to this program, because perhaps it might be too late for you, the listener, to embark on an international career, but it's not too late for your children if you craft them now toward both. Right. We talked about the language skills and also the technical expertise, and hopefully they're passionate about whatever path that they choose to go on. HB, I've heard you say before, I've heard you say that you actually use Studio Classroom to learn both English and Chinese. Now, I've never heard anyone use Studio Classroom to learn Chinese. Can you explain to me how you do that? How do you use Studio Classroom to learn two languages?
Okay, that is very interesting question. Probably the difference is that most of the subscribers in Taiwan, they are Chinese native.
Yes.
And therefore, they take this magazine and also learning chance from a Taiwanese perspective.
Yes.
But I, as a foreigner, taking this chance as a foreigner. So therefore, English and Chinese, both of them are foreign languages to me.
Mm.
Therefore, I'm trying to catch up English contents first, and then I'm also curious about how that to be translated in Chinese. So therefore, I just flip through. Okay, so in Chinese, this has been translated into this way. So simultaneously, I can make a comparison like English part and then Chinese part. Therefore, it's kind of a good way for me to match these two languages contents together with the same contents, right? So therefore, it is always helpful for me to catch up English and then Chinese together.
That's very interesting. You're actually the first person I've ever heard do that.
Mhm.
Learn master two languages using our magazine. So that's a really helpful tip to any foreigner out there who may be listening to our magazine.
Right.
My next question is, here in Taipei, for many people, they don't have the opportunity to listen and speak English
Mm-hmm.
all the time because we are not as international as, let's say, perhaps like Singapore or New York.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have as many opportunities to interact with in an English environment. How have you been able to create an English environment for yourself, even though for most of your life, whether in Korea or now here on the island, you haven't had the chance to be surrounded by foreigners? How do you create an English environment?
Mm-hmm. More than 20 years ago or 30 years ago, overall environment in each country locally, in terms of the learning chances, it is very limited because
Yes.
you don't have any exposure to the foreigners and also foreign culture.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, the only way that you can learn something faster and also effectively is probably buying a book, right? So I remember that English teacher when I was young, he recommended me to buy some good English books and also magazines like a Reader's Digest or the Business Week, Time, and so on. Now I believe that we have more friendly, more nicer environment in terms of the learning foreign languages, which is the internet.
Yes.
So if you explore the internet, mobile internet, that you can find tons of contents which are available through the internet.
Yes.
But one thing that you have to remind yourself is you have to choose the good contents and also good application channel to observe those good contents. So I really encourage people to be more familiar with the usage of mobile internet and then also choose the right channel to receive those contents. Then you will be exposed to the video contents in English and in other foreign languages and also the text-based contents. Therefore, you will be able to read good articles in English and or in other foreign languages. Then you will be able to digest those contents gradually, and then you will improve your English capability as well.
How about speaking? Let's say you've lived in Taipei for a few years now. How do you help yourself have more chances to speak English?
I would say in line in my company, we also do have lots of meetings through the conference. And then we have connections with people in Japan or Korea or Hong Kong and Thailand. Then in order to communicate each other with a common language, we choose English. And then it is the way that I can also communicate with other people. And then I try to make a proper English to communicate with them. And also I sometimes found out that, oh, my English was broken. Oh, what a shame. But then I try to improve my English so that I can also deliver the correct message to my colleagues.
So is English the working language in line?
Yes, in many cases.
In many cases.
But at the same time, we also do have some support for those people who are not capable of fully communicating with other foreign colleagues in English. In that case, we do have some support in terms of the interpretation and translation as well. But the common language in our company is English among foreigners. So communicating with Hong Kong people and Thai people and Korean people, we speak in English in many ways.
Okay, that's wonderful to know. That's another good reason people should learn English.
Right.
Yeah. Ishu, we're moving on to our last question. So you're a long-time learner of languages. Is there any tip you can give to our listeners who are trying to master English or just trying to master a second or third language? Can you give them one tip? If you have two, you can give two. Can you give them one tip that you think has really helped you on your language learning journey?
Right. When I look back upon my English learning journey, I think it's been a really long time since my middle school. So it's been like many years, and I think it is a marathon, not 100-meter sprint. Right. So everybody should understand that you have to participate in this marathon. It's a long journey. So don't be stressed out, and also don't give up. And I remember that when I was young, my English teacher and also my friends gave me some good phrases. Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
So if you do not practice, you cannot improve your English. So it really does matter whether you practice or not. So hope that everybody will keep it in mind and also continuously practice English speaking and also listening. Then you will be able to improve your English and you will have more confidence with your communication.
And in the end, having more confidence and having improved English means more life opportunities, like
Right.
HB. You're a good example of many life and career opportunities because of good English.
Yeah, I believe so. And also, with that practice, once you do your best, then you will find someday you will find that you are really good at something. So I remember one good sentence, which is everyone can do something well. I really like this phrase because you have your confidence. You can do something very well. But the premise of it is that practice makes perfect. You have to try something very diligently and also very urgently. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Right? So these two phrases are co-related each other, and I really love these two sentences to share with my friends and also colleagues.
Yes, we will share that with the whole audience again. First, practice makes perfect. And the second one is everyone can do something well. But you have to find that.
Right.
You have to find what is it that you can do well and excel more than most people.
Exactly.
And I love the idea you share with us that learning a language is a marathon. So we cannot give up. And we can't say, oh, we've mastered English because perhaps we got a certain score on TOEIC or on GMAT. That means I've mastered it.
Right.
Because language is a lifelong journey.
Exactly.
Yeah. HB, thank you for sharing with us today. You gave us many precious words of wisdom. I think will be very useful for our listeners. And we wish you and we wish Line all the best in Taiwan and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.